and we keep mouthing it that SMEs are the way to grow the economy and all that. Is there a way that you can waive or tinker with the collateral part? You know, we have seen airlines who have taken loans from banks, and the banks are sitting in their offices collecting money for air tickets. Isn't there a way you can do something like that to ensure that your money gets paid back?
Yeah, spot on. We've been thinking out of the box. And what you just described, we've also done in the creative industry. We've supported some cinema houses, and we got commercial banks to man the box offices of those cinema houses.
And collect, yeah.
So those cinema houses did not provide us with any collateral because we could tap into their cash flow.
Yeah.
And the commercial bank to sweep to BOI whenever the loans are due. So, and then for the lower strata of society, we also came up with the issue of personal guarantees. If you want to lend, if you want to borrow below 10 million, you probably do not need asset-based collateral.
Okay.
But if you get high net worth individuals in the environment
To recommend you.
to guarantee you with notarized statement of net worth, that is all we need.
But the question will now arise,
How many of them we have access?
People have access to high net worth individuals.
Well, they don't really have to be high net worth. It could be a bank manager, it could be a lawyer, it could be a civil servant of assistant director, cadre, provided we're sure that based on their assets, that's why I talked about notarized statement of net worth.
Mr. Bagondi,
They can
if I may come in here.
cover in case of default.
When our last guest mentioned a place, a location in Lagos, so let me use that, Alimoshe for instance. There are people who live in Alimoshe, and all they know to do, they make shoes.
Yeah.
And he probably has 2 or 3 employees, and he wants to expand. He's looking at 5 million. He does not know a civil servant of director, assistant
And he
director,
doesn't know a
cadre.
bank- he doesn't know a bank
manager. How would he do it?
You see, while designing a financial system, you cannot dissociate that system from the society or the environment it's operating.
Yes.
You are assuming that every SME applicant is genuine and sincere. Like he just explained to you, we are a development finance institution largely owned by government. I can assure you that out of every 10 prospective applicants who come to the Bank of Industry, 8 believe they're coming for their own share of the national cake.
Oh dear.
And they don't want to pay back. And this cuts across everybody, even that are highly placed society, member society,
Who believe
former
that?
ministers, retired generals, who have presented to the Bank of Industry fake certificates of occupancy, CFOs for properties located in Lekki. So where do you draw the line?
Again, I think the challenge really is that if you look at our financial system, everybody today believes that you must start with developmental banks, with commercial banks, but we do not have those people that take you from the initial startup stage to a level where the commercial banks can come in, likes of venture capital, angel investors, private equity, and things like that. That is the one that is missing, and we need to deepen the market. Otherwise, it will become extremely difficult. The situation that a scenario that you painted, somebody needing a 5 million, you are doing shoes in Alimosho and all of that. It is not that it is not possible, but that person must also demonstrate a track, a capacity to be able to absorb the 5 million, a track to say, I can pay back. So these kind of people will go through a simple system where you borrow 500 first, then you pay back, then you go to 1 million, then you pay back, then you go to 2, 3. That way, there is that discipline of taking and paying back. And those are the things that the banks must see beyond. So, and that determines your character, what we call your character in giving credit to people.
So from your experience, what can be done to ensure that the right quantum of SMEs actually meet the requirements and access this money that's just sitting down there waiting for them?
2 things. The first is that we need to change our mindsets, and we need to agree that truly, if SMEs are the engine of growth, we must both work together to make them that engine which they really are. And in advanced countries, people are doing this. You have the SME, for instance, who can play a pivotal role in ensuring that small businesses have access to government contracts, for instance. And through that, they can domicile it into banks. And that way, you are able to show that these small businesses are behaving well. The issue of credit bureau is also something that we need to reflect on. If I am able to demonstrate through a credit bureau system or a rating that I am a man that can take money, a business that can take money and pay back, then I don't need to pay heavily on issue of collateral, because my character will weigh more for me. And this is what has happened in most advanced countries.
Okay, Mr. Lagmeju, you said 15 what?
Billion.
Billion has been set aside. This is June. We're almost, in 3 weeks we'll be halfway through the year. How much of it has been accessed?
Well, less than $1 billion. I agree to meet our eligibility criteria. Like he was trying to explain to you,